How you doing? Hey, welcome everybody. Welcome one, welcome all. Y'all know it's your girl, Angie Fox, and I am honored to be with you all again on this beautiful day that the Lord has made. Thank you all. Let's rejoice and be glad in it. That's right. It's time to get it on. I want you to go ahead and do what you do. Call your neighbors, call your friends, call everybody that you know, and tell them it's time to tune in and stay tuned in to the #1 empowerment platform in the land. That's right. You heard it here first. www.womeninspirationalradio.org and the Empowerment Podcast Network. Yes, we are in the house and we are happy to be here. We are happy to be used by God for such a time as this to come before you to help, encourage, even strengthen, inspire, motivate, and empower each and every one of you. So today I'm not rolling with a special guest at all. I don't have a guest. I'm rolling solo. But guess what? It's all good and I'm still glad to be with you. And I just want to talk for a few minutes, okay, if you will. We're going to talk for a few minutes about mental health. You know, we just celebrated nationally Mental Health Awareness Month was the month of May. But how many of you know that mental health awareness is 24/7 and every day of the year? That's right. 12 months, every month, every day, every hour. We must be intentional and vigilant about becoming aware of not just the mental health of those around us, but our own. You know, I sit here as a woman of God, strong, whole, healed, and walking in my purpose. But how many of you know that there are people, saved believers even, that are dealing with mental health issues? Your mental health is health. Your mental health is important, not just to you, but also to me. We have to take the time, the necessary time, if you will, to recognize, identify, become aware of, as I said, and be able to see it so that we can help people. Because there are some people that don't realize that they're dealing with mental health issues. Really. I like to say I am a survivor because you hear that all the time, people who have survived different forms of cancer and all kinds of tragic things that have happened in their lives, or what could be tragic things that have happened in their lives, conditions and all that. Well, I am a survivor of mental health illness. That's right. I lived 17 years depressed and suicidal. I didn't just think about suicide. I kept attempting suicide until I committed suicide. That's not a healthy mindset. It's not. And people would like to tell you that depression is not a mental health issue. Yes, it is. When you're depressed and oppressed and overtaken with sadness and distraught all the time and crying and in a state of feeling less than and just, I like to use the phrase or the term, it's not even a word, it's a sound. Ugh. When you live in that state and you experience that state, you are dealing with mental health issues. See, a healthy mindset will have ultimately healthy actions. That's right. Your body will become healthy because whatever state your mind is in, that's what state your whole is in. I'm telling you what I know, not what I heard. Whatever state your mind is in, that's what state your whole being will be in. That's what your actions will reflect, whatever is going on in your mind. So a healthy mindset, a positive mindset, a whole mindset, a healed mindset are all required for us to be whole, healthy, and walk in our purpose. You can't do this thing with the mindset that's less than. You can't do this, what God has given us to do, with the sick mindset. You can't do what God has given you to do and have what God has for you to have with an unhealthy mental health state. Yes, it's time, my beautiful sister queens and my brother kings who are listening to this broadcast today. It is time for us to get it right, get our minds right. A friend of mine, my sister Angela Ford Nelson, said a few years ago, mindset reset. Reset your mindset. And just in case you can't do it by yourself, because we are talking about mental health issues right now, there's help available for every single one of you. But before we talk about the help that is available, I want to talk to you about how to recognize in others, as well as yourself, some of the ways you can recognize when there's a mental health breakdown. Yeah, and I got this from Googling it, and also from friends who shared it on social media. So I want to share it with you all, right? There's a whole oodle of medication out there that professional psychiatrists, psychologists, and doctors will prescribe to help deal with mental health issues, from depression, oppression, to schizophrenia, to you name it, right? But there are some things that are some people that don't realize that they have a mental health breakdown and may not be on medication. I was one of those people that just refused to take any medication that was prescribed for me, right? Some of you are the same way. So I'm gonna talk to you a little bit today about how to recognize some of the symptoms or ways of being, if you will, in those around you, those that you may encounter, and even yourself. You may not know this, but mental health shows itself in many different forms and fashion. Yeah. Oh, before I go further, let me say this. If you are on medication or have been prescribed medication, personally, I want to encourage you to take the medication, because it may seem like a downer, or the side effects may seem more than you want to deal with, but in the long run, sometimes even with the side effects, it will help you to settle your mind long enough where you don't have to have the things that's going on in your mindset to keep you racing, keep your mind racing, keep your mind hurting, keep you in a state of whether it's depression, oppression, or whatever comes with that. So I encourage you to take your medication. And if the side effects of your medication affect you in such a negative way that you can't function, then see your professional doctor, or your medical doctor, your psychologist, psychiatrist, whomever prescribed the medication, and let the changes be made by them. So I want to say that first and foremost, because I'm not one to sit and tell you don't take your medicine. I'm telling you, the doctors prescribe it, follow their orders. And then you can get a hold of the word, and I'm gonna tell you how to break free of the medication, okay? So stay tuned, don't you go anywhere. But I want to talk about that place in our minds, in your minds, that affects your everyday life, even your walk, your talk, your body, your functions, your being, because it manifests, it being depression, oppression, and all those other mental health illnesses. Whether you've been diagnosed by a professional or you just recognize it in yourself, it manifests. They manifest themselves in many different ways, okay? And it sounds crazy, right? But it's not. I don't use the word crazy. I use the word needing help, the phrase needing help. So this is what we're going to talk about. Some people suffer from severe depression and anxiety. Yes, anxiety is a mental health situation also. I have a daughter that used the phrase the other day, Mama, you feeding into my anxiety. Honey, boom, it's not your anxiety. If you're dealing with anxiety, that's not from God. That does not belong to you. He didn't want that for your life. You need to cast it down, and let's do some things to counter that and stop calling it yours. It's not your depression. It's not your anxiety. It's not your schizophrenic. It's not yours. It doesn't belong to you. And you don't have to live there forever. But there are some people that suffer right now from severe depression and anxiety. They feel that their brain doesn't sit right. Something is different. And if you're experiencing that, you know you understand that feeling. You're noticing the little differences that other people wouldn't notice. And get this, when you're dealing with that stuff and mental health issues, some days you wake up feeling sick and sleepless. Even if you slept all night, you'll wake up feeling sick, physically sick in your body and sleepless, as if you have not slept a wink. I experienced it. I'm telling you what I know. When you're dealing with those issues, you constantly overthink every situation. You ever been around people like that? They overthink everything, even the minute issues, little things that come up that mean nothing to you, that are not a big deal at all. They overthink and make it a big deal. They think everything someone else says is about them. Every joke is about them personally. Everybody's talking about them. I wonder if she was supposed to laugh. Oh, I wonder if he meant that. I wonder if they're talking to me, talking about me. I can't tell if they're being nice or mean. You know what I'm saying? Everything is about them, but more than about them, against them. Everything and everybody is against them, right? They think everybody's picking on them. They think nobody likes me. You ever been around that? When you encounter that, or you begin to feel that all the time, just go talk to someone. You can call the hotline number that I'm going to give you at the end of this broadcast, or you can talk to someone like myself. We're mental health coaches here in this office of We Are One, the movement. There are professional psychologists and counselors out there. Talk to someone. Tell somebody how you're feeling and get the help that you need. Don't ever be too proud to ask for help. Don't ever, ever be too proud to say, I need some help. When you meet someone that says, I'm sorry all the time, I'm not talking about people who aren't too proud to apologize. I'm talking about someone who apologizes and I'm sorry. You can just be talking to them and you can not respond to something or not like something that they said or not agree with them, and they'll immediately begin apologizing constantly. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm so. Look, that's not normal, okay? That's not considered normal. So when you see that, check that. I'm not talking about don't say it because you don't want somebody to hear you say it. I'm saying get the help that you need so that you can understand your mindset. People who suffer from mental health issues will sometimes spend hours trying to find answers to those questions, the things that I just said. Are they talking about me? Do they not like me? Were they laughing at me? All that. They'll spend hours upon hours trying to find the answers to questions that don't even really exist. They'll let it build up in their minds until it drives them to tears. It's a mental thing, y'all. It's a mental thing. It's a mental health issue. Because when your mind is whole, when your mental health state is delivered and set free and healed, you don't think like that. That's not our normal everyday way of thinking. So when you encounter those or yourself like that, get help. Get help you need. It not only affects those who suffer from mental health issues mentally, it begins to show itself physical. You begin to see and or experience physical changes. Yeah, you might walk in and I'm dealing with those episodes, or I'm dealing with that undealt with or unresolved mental health issues, and you walk in the office and see I done shaved my head bald. Oh, you like it? Then when you don't like it, oh, she don't like me. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. You might see me do something to my physical body that is completely out of character for me, because mental health issues manifest themselves in many different ways. and you see me stop eating or eat a few bites, then I don't want to eat anymore. That's okay if I'm trying to lose 10 or 15 pounds like I need to do. But I'm talking about just on a constant basis because my mental state is not healed. Now I don't even want food. My mind tells my body that I'm not hungry. When your mental health state is not healed and whole, your mind will tell your body things that are not true. This I know for a fact. Sometimes you will have and suffer from insomnia, unable to sleep. Yes, I'm telling you, I know this, because you're up trying to answer questions that really don't even exist. You waste your whole day feeling tired and feeling exhausted and feeling spent and feeling useless and just feeling ick because you've wasted your whole night after night with your mind unhealthy and racing. See, not everybody who suffers from mental health issues are walking around looking like they're suffering. Sometimes people suffer in silence, and the suffering is extremely painful. They may be on a level 10 in suffering in scale of 1 to 10, but you don't know it because, like me, they've learned to live a lie, put on a facade, smile behind the pain. No, smile instead of showing the pain, rather. You know what I'm saying? You've got to be able to discern those that come around you. We've got to be able to see with your spiritual eyes and recognize certain things with your natural eye when something is not right around you, when something is off in others, especially those that we know. Now, you can't just do that with everybody you first meet, but people who are suffering from mental health issues, sometimes, not always, sometimes after having a conversation, you realize that that chick was a little off. And hopefully that will prompt you to want to talk to them again. And it's okay, I believe, to ask questions. Because sometimes they come to us, those that are suffering from mental health issues, and they have on that smiley face. They might as well pick a piece of cardboard, draw a smiley face on it, color it, put it on a fan handle on a stick, and just hold it up in front of their faces. Because that's what it's like. A fake smiley face when they're in front of us. And inside, they feel like they're dying. Their mental health state is off. God wants us whole. When I say whole, he wants us whole. Mind, body, soul. All of us. Every part of you. The spiritual side, the physical side, every part of you. From the mental to the physical. Everything about us, he wants us whole. He created us to be whole and healthy. Your mental health state is important to me, not just to you. You don't walk alone. You don't. You don't have to be alone. When you are around others and you notice people that you've become familiar with or know, and you see their behavior starts to change, they may need guidance. They need to understand that they don't have to be ashamed. So that's what we have to do. See, the society has put a stigma on mental health to the point that people who are suffering, especially those suffering in silence, don't want us to know. They'd rather not tell us or share with us that they're dealing with it because we've put a name on them. That's not their name. We look at them with disdain. We look at them with shame. or pity. We say things to them to patronize them and make them feel like they're less than. But I've learned that we have an obligation not to judge, but to help. So rather someone's mental state, they've been professionally diagnosed as schizophrenia or any other, I say schizophrenia a lot because that's one of those mental health issues that we recognize, and we'll say stuff like, oh, they crazy. They're not. Bipolar. Some of these are conditions or mental health issues that we recognize easily and quickly as a mental health condition, and we'll just group them all together and call them crazy. Girl, please. No. Mental health issues range from even extreme sadness. When I say extreme sadness, I'm not talking about you going through life and life happens and you're sad sometimes. I'm talking about living in a state of extreme sadness. That's what I'm talking about. Living in a state of oppression, depression, extreme sadness and loneliness, and living there. When you pitch a tent and live there, that means whatever it is that has caused that emotion has become a part of you and bigger than you. Mine began with low self-esteem. That's how it started out for me. My 17-year journey of, I'll say it, hell, low self-esteem, because I didn't look as cute as some of the other girls, or I didn't have the body that my sister Rebecca had, and I didn't have the physical appearance that society back then told me was considered fine or even acceptable. So when I look in the mirror, I saw ugly, I saw skinny, and I had low self-esteem. I didn't like anything about myself. And guess what happened? Rather than dealing with it the way God told me to deal with it by his word, or believing that God loved me the way he created me, I began to look in the mirror and went from low self-esteem to self-hatred. I hated myself. I hated looking at myself. I hated everything about myself. But I was married with 5 children. Yep. I sure was. And I was back in college full time. 3.7 GPA on the dean's list, excelling. And guess what? Hated myself. And then that self-hatred morphed into depression. And I began, in the words of Helen Baylor and this testimony that she sings, my life began to do a downward spiral. And I started going down fast. And then the enemy said, everybody would be better off if you're dead. You need to kill yourself. And I said, you're right. All of that morphed from low self-esteem, extreme sadness. So we can't pitch a tent and live there, because your mental health is important. Yeah. God wants your mental health whole and healed. I'm telling you what I know. I know this like I know my name is Angela. That's what he wants for you. And he wants you to be good. He wants you to be gooder than good. I said it, gooder than good. That's right. He created you in his own image. He loves you just the way you are. But you have to believe that. And you have to love yourself the way he loves you. Not this artificial love where we love the ones who love us back. Not that love where I love you as long as you love me. No. I love the ones that look good. I love the ones that give me stuff. No. He wants us to love with the agape love. That's that unconditional love that he has for us. For me, little old me and for you. That's how he loves you. There's nothing that you can do that will stop him from loving you. And queens, that's how he wants you to love you and others. But I declare, you can't love other people that way, God's way, until you love yourself the way God loves you. You've got to begin to see yourself through the eyes of Christ, not through what society or the magazines say you should see yourself. I see myself the way God sees me, and now I am unstoppable. Believe it. Believe it. Guess what, though? Other than the fact that I've gained a lot of weight, there's nothing else about my physical appearance that has changed from when I had low self-esteem. I've got the same overbite. I've got the same eyes, the same half eyebrows that I draw on the longer ones now because they stop right here and halfway across my face. I've got the same physical features that I had when I had low self-esteem. But what has changed is my mental state. I see myself now the way God sees me, and I love myself the way he loves me. That's right. And because I do, I can love you unconditionally. And you don't have to buy me anything. You don't have to do anything for me. You don't have to hang out with me. You don't have to be my friend. You don't have to even know me. That's right. Because my mental health is now healed and whole. And you are only as good as your mindset. You don't believe it? Then check out the things that you do. Tell me. I'm waiting. I'll sit right here and wait for you. Tell me that everything that you do did not start with a thought first. Now, you can't tell me, can you? I know it because I'm right. Everything you do and even say starts with the thought first. I know it. See, I knew you would understand. I knew it. And if your thought is messed up, mindset, if your thinking stinks, if your thinking is wrong, if you're off in your thinking, if your thinking is bad, the things that you do will follow that. The things that come out of your mouth will come from that. So when you're not talking right, when you're not acting right, that guess what? It's because the way you're thinking first. Because when your mindset has been reset and made whole and healed, your thinking will line up with what God says. Your thinking will be good. Your thinking will be positive. You understand? Yeah, I know you will get it. You're getting it now. Yes. Your actions will begin to look like whole, healthy, healed actions. Your walk will change. Your talk will change. Even your physical appearance. You'll be the same person with the same looks. It's just going to be enhanced. Yeah. Oh, I wear a little concealer now. So if you can see me, and you see from a distance, my skin looks flawless, right? To some, by my standards, hey, that's saying much. And so I wear a little concealer because I'm 56 now, about to be 57 next week. So I see a little age line, little crow's feet, that kind of thing. Now, other than that, I look the same way. I look the same way. I even wear my hair in the same style. But the beauty in me comes from that mindset that is healed. Honey, let me tell you, it's time for you to be healed. In the words of my little sis, Michelle Gasson, totally healed, mind, body, and soul. Your mental health is important. Your mental health is health. And just like you take medication for a headache or any other condition that the doctor prescribes for you, you might need medication for your mental health state. And in addition to that, counseling is always good. Counseling is good. There are free counselings out there for you. Some places offer free counseling. There are some places that offer minimal payments. There are places such as We Are One, the Movement headquarters office, that offers coaching, and definitely someone to listen to. And if you're suicidal, have suicidal thoughts, severe depression, you can call this hotline number 800-273-8255 and ask for help. That's right. That's one of the numbers, 800-273-8255. We have brochures and information in this office. We have information that will help you. We have someone that will talk to you, that will walk you through it. We will coach you through everything. And if we do an intake and determine that you need counseling, we have a counselor that we can refer you to. We have spiritual, God-filled counselors that will help you, that will give you what you need. We are going to partner with other officers and doctors that will help you, that we can refer people to as well. Look, I'm just trying to tell you that there's help out there. And we love you. We thank God for you. And we want to be a part of helping you. So as we leave this broadcast today, we leave here knowing that no matter what, God wants you whole, healthy, and healed. And we want you to know that your mental health is important. I love you. Thank God for you. And my prayer for you is that you will become more aware of your own mental health state, as well as all those around you. And when you need help, ask for help. It's yours for the asking. I pray God bless you, continue to bless you all, not just this day, but every day. And I'm looking forward to being back with you all every Monday, 12 o'clock noon, right here on www.womeninspirationalradio.org and the Empowerment Podcast Network. God bless you.